We're in the North Yorkshire Moors on what's called the Hole of Hawkham. We're right on the edge of it now, and we're here to meet Joe, a landscape photographer who's perched just on the edge of the heather here.
The North York Moors is the background of my life. I mean, I live on the northwestern edge of it, just underneath Rosebery Topping, which is a real sort of significant landmark of the moors on the northwest corner. So I love taking pictures. The nature of the moors, any upland area in the UK, is always subject to more weather than the flatter areas, especially in the winter. There's lots of snow and ice frequently. But at the same time, it's not the wettest area of the country, and we get fine weather, of course. So I'm out in all conditions, and I can enjoy it in all conditions. To be honest, the light's not ideal today.
To me, it looks lousy today.
It's more of a scouting day. What I'm really using it for is as a reference, and with a bit of luck, I will come back maybe in the summer when the heather is up, late summer, and in better light.
It must be beautiful then. It's a grey day with rain threatening. It's going to be hard for Joe to find the magic in the landscape.
I often go out and come back, as it were, photographically speaking, empty-handed, but I usually do try and press the shutter once. And so having a reference picture then reminds me of what might be possible in the future.
Where next?
We're going to go to the coast, Alastair, to the north of here, to a beautiful village called Staithes.
If you don't know about this, you would never find it.
Right now we're standing above Staithes, which is a tumbling fishing village clustered around the harbour on the coast of Yorkshire. It's a curious sight because this is no Greek fishing village, it's no Cornish fishing village. There are grey slate roofs, the gulls have left their imprint on all the roofs, and it's a grey day. But there's something very special about it.
The moods that you find at Staithes naturally reflect the weather and the conditions on any given day. As any landscape does, but there's something particularly attractive about it, I think, at twilight when the smoke can be seen coming out of the chimneys and maybe the street lights are on. The whole scene is a fascinating example of human beings sort of incorporating themselves into a natural but quite extreme landscape. You adapt your approach to suit the conditions. And you even adapt the location as well. On days when it's raining, I would typically try and, if I need to get pictures done, I will look to shoot close up. Really work at details, or in very intimate spaces like woodland, or around rock details.
All set? We're heading off to see a waterfall. We're standing in a waterfall. It seems pointless going to see another one, but apparently it's very beautiful. Joe tells me that it's well worth the trek. This is non-slip, special non-slip surface. This is mad, deliciously mad. Walking in the rain is part of the great English tradition, so let's do it.
Alastair, I think we should probably go back to the bridge.
You really reckon you can get a good photo here?
I do, yeah.
Great.
I do. The option is to go back to the viaduct and working underneath there and able to work in the kind of semi-dry.
This is the sort of man who goes out in the snow and stands in it still for 2.5 hours to take a perfect photograph. So standing shin deep in water is easy, half of the course.
There's a really, really nice swirling shape and the tree. I'm going to try and sort of, as it were, piece everything together.
If Joe were to fall in the water, perchance, and were to soak his knapsack and destroy the equipment in it, it's so expensive and so uninsurable that he says he'd probably have to give up photography. So every little risk like this, although it's minuscule, of course, is actually rather touchingly dramatic in some ways. The possible end to a man's career if he should slip. So let's hope he got a great photograph. What was it like? Was it worth it?
It's always hard to tell until you see the final result, but I'm quietly optimistic. It does have a nice energy to it. So essentially it's this gully with a rather beautiful little delicate area of flow in the immediate foreground, and then it sort of is framed by the oak tree at the back.
It's been a remarkable
trio of experiences. For me, it's a lesson in how to enjoy yourself in unpromising circumstances, and how the search for beauty, which has been Joe's search, can transform your experience.